I think I'm 9 for 9. January the 9th, one video a day. Of course, only if there's actually something to discuss. If there truly is nothing to talk about, then all I simply do at that point is bore you to death with some 2K24 gameplay to try and keep this channel alive. Is it even alive to begin with? Not really, but that's okay because I'm enjoying the hell out of it. 2-hour SmackDown. There's going to be a link to provide where I got this information from, even though it's all over the place. Triple H has stated on the Pat McAfee show a couple of days ago that, yes, for right now, he says it's 3 hours and then it switches back to 2 hours. He said that he wants this to be a thing for about 6 months or so. So that means that roughly in July, June, July-ish, sometime in the summer, it's going to revert back to 2 hours. That's scenario one. I got Big Papa Pump to help me out with the math here. Not really, I'm just trying to be funny. I did some thinking. I came up with an additional 2 scenarios. So his first one is the number one because he's the chief. He's Triple H. He's the game, the cerebral assassin. Who am I? The little pissant on YouTube talking some shit. Scenario 2, I propose, is we just keep it the way it is. Okay? We keep it the way it is. 3 hours, don't change it, because you've already figured it out once so far. Scenario 3 is where we balance out the rosters and we remove some from Raw to shoot over to SmackDown so that we have a more even-sized roster so that now 3 hours for both shows makes sense. Okay. Now, let's talk some numbers here. And where I got those numbers from, right there, WWE.com/superstars. You can look at SmackDown, and then you could start counting all the people. For example, I didn't really count BFAB, with all due respect, or like Maxine Dupree, because, no offense, they're people that don't really compete. I obviously didn't include Adam Pearce either, or Alicia Taylor, 'cause she's the ring announcer, okay? So based on those numbers, we've got 61 Raw superstars and 44 SmackDown superstars, giving us 17 more superstars on Raw. So, let's stick with that. What if we just kept it like that? Okay? What ends up happening is because SmackDown's got less superstars, but they've got the same time as Raw, a little bit less, because, you know, the whole Raw thing, they could be 2 hours, they could be 3 hours, 3.5. They don't really have the time restraints that the USA Network has. However, USA Network, bitch boy, and dropping the F-bomb and all that, The Rock was able to get away with a lot of stuff, but when he went on Netflix Raw, and he said to Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, and I quote, "Let's fucking go," that shit got censored. So you're on the almighty Netflix Raw, great, and I'm not saying it's not good. But maybe the trade-off for SmackDown not being on Netflix is, hey, we've got less superstars, but the same amount of time, give or take, to showcase, promote storylines, and have them grow compared to Raw. Okay, so that's why I was saying scenario 2, just keep it the same. Another reason, another logic to keep it the same is simple. Like I said, you've already figured it out. Now we're going to end up getting used to, for several dozens of shows, at the 3-hour format with 44 active participating WWE SmackDown superstars. And then all of a sudden you're going to do like you did on Raw, and you're just going to suck an hour out. Now, what does that really translate to? Is it really an hour gone? Well, let's take a look at it, because I did the math again. So that is accurate? Okay, thanks. Big pop on the way. 3-hour show without commercials is actually 2 hours. The Raw SmackDown... Oh my God, there's no such thing as a Raw SmackDown. The Raw Netflix, like actually starting at 8 o'clock... I don't know what this is, but whatever. Starting at 8 o'clock Eastern time for me, it ended at about 11:10? 08? Okay? Commercials actually weren't that bad because remember, they script the show around the commercials. They're never just going to have a pinfall in the middle of a commercial. Oh my god, Cody finishes the story. Wait, I didn't see it because of a fucking Gecko commercial. You know, Gecko Insurance or Geico, whatever it's called, I don't care. Whereas a 2-hour show is actually an hour and 20 minutes without commercials. To an hour and 25. So it's about 35 to 40 actual minutes shorter for the 2-hour show. It's not quite a full hour. Okay? I'm just saying, if you subtract in the third scenario 8 superstars from Raw, you would now have a roster of 53 superstars, which again gives a little bit extra jus, a little time for those 53 to do to 3 hours. Because 44 superstars are able to do it 3 hours. I'm sure 53 is perfectly fine for 3 hours. SmackDown would gain 8 superstars that got subtracted from the 8 from Raw, giving it 52. Okay? So that would be an interesting scenario, in my opinion. I'm not claiming that these ideas are good. I'm also not saying that nobody else has thought of this. I've just not seen anybody else talk about this, and there could be a reason for that, because it could be a dumb fucking idea. I'm sure Triple H has thought everything out, and okay, he's Triple H, he's the game. Cerebral assassin, he's the chief. What the hell do I know? I'm just some pissant on YouTube with 2,000 subscribers, making $30 a month. Okay? It's just a thought. The main point of this video was just to bring to your attention, which is in the title. You didn't even have to click on the video to find out the information. The most important was that roughly in July, 6 months duration, SmackDown's going back to 2 hours. And I'm simply saying that the math doesn't really add up in this case. Okay? I think it's going to suck. And the only reason in closing, again, why I'm going, it's almost a mistake to have brought SmackDown to 3 hours just to take it away from us after we've gotten used to it. I feel like that's just going to feel awkward. But I totally understand the argument of, man, that's just too much wrestling. 3 hours of Raw, 3 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of NXT, which, no offense, I ain't got time to watch. That's 8 hours a week of wrestling. No wonder I ain't got time to watch a lot of AEW and all the other 3-letter acronym promotions going on in the world. I gotta shit, piss, eat, sleep, exercise, play guitar, do all those things. There's just not enough time in a day to invest too much into the other promotions. That's why I've stuck to Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown. Okay? I'm not even going to recap this shit, because I think I've... Did I seriously? Oh, I was going to say, hopefully there's no way I went on about this more than 10 minutes, but we just broke the timer for mid-roll ads, which I'm probably just going to remove anyways. So let me know down below what you think of this. Again, scenario 1, Triple H shrinking it back down to 2 hours, roughly, in July. Scenario 2, do you think we should just keep it the same? And it worked out fine so far. Or the more crazy scenario 3, which is reduce the roster size on Raw to make it more even with SmackDown, so that SmackDown's got a little bit more superstars to work with, a little bit less for Raw, and then they both get 3 hours. So that, again, Raw would have a roster of 53, SmackDown would have a roster of 52, much more balanced, and then both on equal footing of 3 hours. Let me know what you think, because honestly, I'm not even sure I know what I think about what the hell I just said. I just know that I'm not happy with reducing. Just like when they dropped Raw from 3 hours to 2, I felt like, oh, that's it? But I'm sure some people appreciate it. I just think that Honestly, the Raw roster is a little bit too stacked, in my humble opinion. But they're making it work, you know, probably a lot better than what I could make it work. You do not, I can admit that, okay? You do not want me being a part of the WWE, starting to come up with some decision making. It'd be a catastrophe. I get that. That doesn't mean that I'm not passionate about the product and that I don't have some ideas. Whether or not they make sense isn't really the point. So thumbs up if you like the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm and trying to make me, man, that's bright, trying to make me a little bit more relevant in the search results and people are looking up on the internet. I also tried to do dark mode to help alleviate some of that brightness, but unfortunately that's just for the banner at the top. That doesn't make, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, doesn't make this actually dark mode unless the web page itself offers a dark mode. It's going to be whatever they put it at. Put it as, rather. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. Like it. Yeah, like it. Man, I need more caffeine. Already talked about that. Yeah, so thumbs down if you didn't like it. Bend it in half, twist it, break it off in yours. And if you want to subscribe naturally, that would be great. And if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And if I'm lucky, perhaps maybe I'll see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.